Hi, I am Clara Roquet. I'm the director of Libertad, which is now showing on MyMetaStories, which is a new festival I'm really excited about because hopefully it's going to help bring our films closer to you. So we hope we enjoy it. So Libertad is my first feature film, and it's a story of a friendship between two young girls. They are both teenagers, 15-year-old, and one of them is from the Catalan countryside, from the Costa Brava, and she is comes from a wealthy family, and the other one comes from Colombia, and she's the daughter of the caregiver of the grandmother of the first one. And she comes from a different social class. And during this summer that they have to spend together, they will become really good friends. And the question that the film poses is whether, you know, true friendship can break the barriers between social classes. Short film came the idea of Libertad, of exploring, because when I was doing the casting process of El Adios, I discovered that most of the women that I was trying to cast were non-professional actors who were working as caregivers in Spain. They had children they had left in their countries, and they were here in Spain taking care of other women, of other people's families while their families were away. And I thought this was like a really rich metaphor of the class difference, and that it was really cruel, and I wanted to explore this. At the beginning I wrote the script from the point of view of Libertad. This is why the film is called Libertad. Also, I like that it's called Libertad because it has other meanings, right? It means freedom, and it means like, for me, there's a big question that in the film that is asked, that is like, who is more free, like someone who thinks they can do what they want, or someone who has the actual means to do what they want, the economic means, right? So this is one thing, but I started writing from the point of view of Libertad, and I realized I couldn't relate that much to her experience, and I was always writing from a point of view that was not realistic. And at some point, I decided that I needed to talk about this story from a point of view that was more similar to mine, because it was going to be more honest, and to criticize my own point of view on my own social class, right? Instead of like telling the story of the less privileged, tell the story of the more privileged, and in this way criticize privilege. Is a very important thing when you conform your own identity, because as you said, identity is about family, and it's about what passes from generation to generation, and one of these things is class and the way in which you look at the social construct, and the other thing is had the identity that you want to build for yourself by rejecting or accepting the one that has been passed on to you. And I think it's very interesting that the grandmother has Alzheimer's, because she starts losing her identity. Losing your memories, losing your identity, and as part of this identity, the class identity. So the moment she starts losing that, she's the only character who can approach Libertad without the barriers of social class. She talks to her like an equal. And I think this demonstrates that class identity is a construct, and that if we allow ourselves to move past that, we can connect to each other as equals.
Bajando con ramo de flores la van adorando. Hola, San Antonio ya se va. Sí, San Antonio ya se va.
Clara Hurtado is a professional actress. I received a video while I was casting for Rosan, and I was casting non-professional actors, and I received a video from her, and she was amazing, and she's trained as an actor. She went to acting school in Colombia, and she's an incredible actor. But she has a very closed she has had very close experiences, and she knows a lot of people who have come to Spain to be caregivers from her family and her friends in Colombia. So it was very familiar for her, and it was very familiar for me. So we we talked to some of these women, we researched it, she did a lot of interviews with women to see how they would do their like daily chores of like just like bathing someone, or like taking care of their hair or feeding them or things like this. So it was very realistic, the portrayal that she did.
Es complicado, es complicado. No, confuso no. Todo es práctica. El do, el do. Siempre la mano en el do. Y ahora, ¿ves que te faltan tres? Pues tres dedos. Fa. Y ahora, la escala descendente. ¿Te preocupa algo?
The most difficult person to cast was Libertad, obviously, because I was convinced that she had to be a girl from Colombia. I wanted her to come from Colombia and experience the same experience that Libertad experiences in the film, of going for the first time to a foreign country, not knowing anything, meeting her mom for the first time. So we casted a girl, we did street casting in Medellin and Cali, and there was suddenly this girl who came down the hill like roller skating with blue hair, and she had this amazing energy when she looked at the camera, and I knew it was Libertad. Then for Nora, it was easier because I had already seen Maria Morena in a film. And then the rest of the family, I kind of casted them around them. You know, I needed to find someone who could look like Libertad's mother, you know, and I needed to find someone who could look like Nora's mother. I already knew that I wanted to work with Nora Navas, who's an amazing actress, and it fit, so it made sense. And the rest of the actors, I kind of built them to look like a family and also to act like a family. I wanted to create like a dynamic that looked like a real family because, as you said, naturalism is very important for me. My DOP, Gris Jordana, was amazing. I have worked with her in all my short films, and the work with her is amazing. We talk a lot about atmospheres and textures, and we wanted the house to feel a certain way. You know, sometimes it had to feel like a jail, like a prison for Angela and for Libertad. You know, you feel there's a place where time doesn't pass, where everything is kind of stuck. There are these clocks that sometimes that don't move. You have a feeling of that the air doesn't circulate, you know, and there's the constant. I think sound is very very important for me as well. Because of my experience as a woman, I have focused on different things. Because, you know, many times the people who are left with the care of others, you know, like taking care of other women, taking care of children, taking care of the kitchen, taking care, it's women. It has been traditionally women. Now it's changing, but when I was a kid, it was very much like this. So I witnessed like my mom taking care of my grandmother and my mom helping the caregiver take care of my grandmother, and I was left to the care of caregivers. So I was in that atmosphere a lot, and that's why I had this experience, and that's why I feel like when women start directing, we tell stories from other points of views, from spaces where men haven't inhabited that much, sadly, and there are beautiful stories to be told from that perspective, and they are very necessary. Of course, it's amazing if we can show the films in larger screens, but if this is what it takes to bring young audiences closer to films, I feel like it's an amazing initiative.